What's up, guys? This is Anime Crossover. I'm back with a new episode of What If Naruto Was the Red Flash Part 23 across the universe. And if you did enjoy this video, give this video a like, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Earth 38, Chapter 1 2015 Central City Earth 2. It had been a few months since Naruto and Ronnie arrived on Earth 2, which was under attack by all of the Earth 2 metas and Zoom. Naruto was now ready for the next phase, having acquired the trust and assistance of Earth 2 Harrison Wells and his parents' doppelgangers. With their assistance, he created a tachyon matrix that allowed him to reach Zoom speed. Naruto's increased speed should allow him to pass through the vibrating dimensional barrier that separates the multiverse's 52 known and billion unknown various Earths. It was a foolish plan, but Naruto needed aid to stop Zoom, and he needed to let everyone know he and Ronnie were safe. Dr. Wells and Minato had just finished tweaking their system for Naruto's breach test when he arrived at Earth 2's Star Labs. Naruto would sprint fast enough to cause a breach and then return to his home planet. They were using Naruto's new multidimensional theorem equation to connect the impulse suit scanners to the Star Lab system. He created it as a means of transporting data from one Earth to another because he wasn't sure what would happen and wanted to let his parents know he was safe. An interdimensional anchor capable of tracking his speed, force signature, and suit vitals via electromagnetic waves. So, no matter what planet he was on, it would still send his vitals to them, letting them know he was fine. Naruto was dressed in friction-proof sneakers, dark blue jeans, a dark red shirt, a black button-up and jacket over that, and goggles on his head. Naruto was carrying dozens of high-calorie energy bars, extra clothes, his Earth 2 toolbox, complete with tools and medicine, and Gideon's AI neuromorphic system, which was still in his phone. Naruto's customized Earth 2 all-purpose smartwatch had a second holographic interface. Naruto stowed everything in a newly designed Star Labs single-strap backpack. He entered the makeshift testing chamber where he would attempt to open the breach once he had finished packing. Dr. Wells, Minato, and Kushina had already entered to set up their system for the test. "Alright, your suits are all set up and synced to our system," Minato stated as he tossed Naruto his flash ring. "Thank you," Naruto said as he placed it on his right middle finger. "Do you really think you're gonna need all that?" Wells asked, pointing to Naruto's backpack. "Better to be prepared," Naruto responded, and Wells simply shook his head. "Hey, you end up on another Earth and see if you're not prepared the next time. Luckily, I came with Gideon, she's been a godsend." "Thank you, Naruto," Gideon murmured via his smartwatch. "Well, we're all set on this end," Kushina said, bringing across the tachyon matrix. "The matrix is set up for one more speed boost. Any more and the speed force in your cells will be damaged." "Right. Hopefully one more boost is all I need," Naruto said before hugging him, which he returned. "I promise I'll be careful, Mom." "You better be because we just got you back, and I don't want to lose you all over again," she said. "You won't," Naruto assured, wiping away a tear and nodding. As Naruto held up his ring, it shot out his impulse suit. She moved over to Minato and Dr. Wells. He was dressed up with his mask on and his goggles resting on his head after one blur and whoosh of air. He put on his eyewear and placed the tachyon matrix on his chest, igniting the speed force in his cells. "Wow. This still feels incredible." "Alright, tachyon absorption at optimal levels, let's do this," Minato said. Ronnie said, standing off to the side, "Hey, Naruto, don't forget about me." "I won't, Ronnie. Just one quick trip to our world to make sure I can do it, and I'll be back to get you, just like I never left," Naruto told him. "Ready, Gideon?" "Ready when you are, Naruto," Gideon said, as Naruto's eyes sparked with electricity and he ran about in a circle of white and crimson lightning. Dr. Wells kept track of his vital signs and speed as it approached Mach 10. Naruto rushed as quickly as he could, boosting his speed to Mach 12. He began to pull power from the speed force as he raced around in a circle. In the center of Naruto's speed circle, a blue portal began to appear. "That's it, Naruto. Keep it up. Concentrate," Dr. Wells yelled as he ran until a blue breach formed in the lab. "Now." Naruto dashed through the portal, which closed behind him. Minato moved forward and waved his palm over the area Naruto had just entered, and it was clear, indicating that it had worked. He did it. "Are his vitals still transmitting?" he inquired as Wells examined them. "They are. Strong vitals and a clear signal. Let's just hope he made it to the right Earth," Wells remarked, unaware that Naruto had not. Naruto sped through a wave of blue breach energy, sensing the enormous nothingness of the multiverse, but it was alive with life. His eyes were flashing with lightning as he began to get glimpses of passing Earths and people, similar to how you may see passing cars on the road. He observed different planets with diverse levels of advancement and circumstances. As he raced across the cosmos, the blue breach energy began to blue shift into the Speed Force's lightning-filled aura. He didn't realize it at the time, but he was flying through time to a few months in the future of this new Earth as he raced across the universe. He then noticed another gap and dashed into it. Earth 38 Supergirl, Earth 38's newest hero, or rather heroine, was flying across the sky and enjoying the air. It had been a week since she used her powers and appeared in public as Supergirl, and she was relishing the feeling of finally being free. When people see that red cape, they expect to see someone in it. Someone they recognize, but this is my narrative, not his. It's been a week since I told National City who I was. So far, everything is going swimmingly. I think I've got a grip on this, Supergirl thought to herself as she dove to dodge a rocket to the face. As she corrected herself in the air, she veered through the air to dodge another rocket. Is that the fastest you can go? Dr. Henshaw observed her training from the DEO's makeshift testing grounds. Are these tests required for everyone or just because I'm a woman, Miss Danvers? It's not just because you're a woman, Miss Danvers. The DEO requires rigorous physical and psychological evaluation for all of its prospective field operatives, Dr. Henshaw explained. I was going to say alien, Supergirl said. A novice superhero could be a liability in the field. I need to know you're completely in control of your powers. Stamina, strength, speed, Henshaw stated, so Supergirl cranked it up to 11 and caused a sonic boom as she sped past. Alex reported, my sister just broke the sound barrier, sir. Fire again, Henshaw said as two more missiles were launched towards Supergirl and were following her. She spotted them approaching and flew up, and they clashed in midair and destroyed each other. Then Supergirl landed on the Earth and approached Director Henshaw. So, did I pass? She inquired. I see you share your cousin's appetite for wanton destruction, Miss Danvers, Henshaw said as Alex arrived. You know, I'm starting to answer to Supergirl, she admitted, but Henshaw didn't appear amused. It's fine. We'll figure it out, he said as he walked away, Supergirl shrugging and Alex chuckling. Is all of this really necessary? I am prepared, Alex. I can do this. You know, believe it or not, he's just looking out for you. You know, we both are. I had a full year of training before he even let me in the field, but I'm really glad you know now, Alex said. And I always thought you were such a bad liar when I was younger, Supergirl explained. When Supergirl's earpiece went off, Alex pointed out, that's what a good liar makes you think. Supergirl, please come in. Win, what is it? She asked, I'm kinda busy right now. Kara, there's a massive fire raging at the National City port, and it's bad. Alright, I'm on my way. Fire at the port. I gotta go. Supergirl walked away, but Alex pursued her. You've been dodging missiles and pushing your endurance for the last 2 hours, and even you have limits, Alex said. I hid who I was for the last 12 years. I don't have to anymore, and I don't want to waste a minute of it. Besides, this sounds like a job for Supergirl. She took off like a rocket and soared to National City. The police and fire departments had raced to the port in full force to prevent a raging fire from spreading. They tried everything to put out the fire, but it only grew hotter. Supergirl soared over and touched down next to the fire chief. What can I do, Chief? She inquired. Those ships are carrying about 1 million barrels of crude oil. If the fire gets it, it will explode like a 2-ton bomb. And the tugs won't arrive in time, he said as she began to consider what to do. What are you waiting for? Superman would have destroyed it by now. Right. Okay. You've got this, she thought to herself before using her super breath to put it out, which accidentally fueled the fire and made it worse. You're exacerbating the situation. One of the firefighters yelled, trying to think of another plan on the fly. I'm going to try and move it, Supergirl decided, using her heat vision to cut the ropes holding the ship to the dock, then flying to the front of the ship, grabbing it, and slowly pulling it away from the dock. Supergirl let out a guttural shout as she managed to pull the ship away, but she yanked too hard and part of the ship cracked open, spilling crude oil into the harbor. Supergirl realized she had made a big mistake, but before she could do anything about it, she heard a huge sonic boom and the next thing she knew, she saw a blur of white and crimson lightning race from the city to the docks. The blur created a vacuum that sucked all the oil from the ship into the air like an oil tornado, and even the oil-contaminated water was sucked into the mini-tornado as the blue. Everyone celebrated as the fire was put out and the national city port was preserved, but Supergirl was perplexed. What was that? She wondered, she thought to herself as she flew after the blur. The blur was Impulse, who ran from the wharf to the desert a few miles outside of town and skidded to a halt. Always something but never dealt with an oil tanker spillage before, Naruto said to himself as he gathered his breath. Naruto, congratulations on your first effort. I thought you saved the water and the local ecosystem, Gideon said as he sniffed his suit and gagged at the scent. On the negative side, I'm going to smell like burning oil for a week, and I thought the sweat smell was bad enough. At this moment, he remembered where he was. Or, more properly, where he wasn't. I think you're on another planet, Gideon remarked. Right, but where am I on this planet? How did you do that? Naruto wondered when he heard a sonic boom and turned to see a flying blur land near him, and it was a lovely blonde woman in a red cape and blue symbol shirt, red skirt, and boots. Naruto was perplexed when she said, I'm Supergirl. Who are you now? Supergirl. I know I'm not as well known as he is, but you should be aware of who I am, she explained. I'm sorry, but I don't, but how did you manage to fly? He inquired. It's one of my abilities. Better still, how do you move so quickly? She inquired. I'm a runner. Naruto presented himself as Impulse. I'm sorry, who? Supergirl inquired. Haven't you heard of me? He inquired, shaking his head no. Should I have done it? How about the Flash? He inquired, but she shook her head no. What about Zoom? He questioned. What about the Arrow? Canary in the coal mine? Reverse Flash? Firestorm? What about the Atom? She shook her head nay at all of them, saying, sorry. Naruto sighed. Huh. I'm back to square one, Naruto said, taking off his goggles and pulling his mask down so Kara could see his face, blushing slightly but holding it in. My name is Naruto Namikaze, and I'm a superhero from another world. Pardon me? She inquired. Yeah, I'm aware, it sounds crazy, but it's true. I was running back to my Earth and I think I took a wrong turn, he explained, and I could use your assistance. Naruto sighed as he sat at the table, his head resting on his arm, bored as Supergirl, Alex, and Director Henshaw looked at him through the two-way mirror. Another planet's superhero? Henshaw inquired. I know it seemed insane to me. Are we certain he isn't from Fort Ross? Supergirl inquired. We've gone through the registry of all prisoners there so far, and no inmate matches his description or power set, Alex responded. That we are aware of. Some of those records were corrupted, so he may be one of the escapees and we wouldn't know it, Henshaw explained. I don't believe he is. He didn't recognize my sign until I mentioned my name and he saw it. If he was from Fort Ross, he would have known just like Vartox, Supergirl speculated. Henshaw speculated, he could be a very convincing liar. No, I looked in his eyes and his reaction was genuine, Supergirl said, raising an eyebrow at Alex. Really? His piercing blue eyes? Alex inquired, his tone provocative. What? Supergirl tried her hardest to hide her blush, but she wasn't succeeding. Did he give you anything useful? Henshaw inquired. He said his name was Naruto Namikaze, Kara remarked, and Alex ran a quick search and found a hit. I got something, she said, showing them photographs on her iPad, and I think his story is starting to sound less crazy. Please excuse me. In the room, they heard Naruto yell, can I get some water? Or how about a soda? Is it thirsty labor to contain an oil spill? Hello. I don't suppose either of you brought water, I'm parched, Naruto said as Alex handed him a bottle. I don't suppose either of you brought water, I'm parched, Naruto said as the door opened and Director Henshaw and Alex walked in. Thank you, he said as he drank quickly and thoroughly. Phew. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I was thirsty. While Director Henshaw sat across from him, he placed the bottle on the table and Alex grabbed it. Why don't you tell us who you really are and what you're doing here, Henshaw said. I told Supergirl and you when I arrived. I'm a good guy, he said, holding out his tied hands. Are these really necessary? He said. They are until we determine you are not a threat, Henshaw explained. I'm not a danger. If I was, I would not have been able to put out the fire or prevent the oil spill. I arrived freely to where you had me locked up, and you placed these shackles on me and locked me in this room. By the way, this chair is incredibly uncomfortable, Naruto observed as he adjusted himself in it. Can you tell me who you are? Alex inquired. Naruto introduced himself, saying, my name is Naruto Namikaze. You see, we looked and found a Naruto Namikaze. He's 23 and a recently published author who lives in Central City with his family and fiancée, Alex added, giving him a picture of his doppelganger, and they looked precisely the same, and he was with this Earth's version of Linda Park. He's my identical twin. If you want to get technical, I'm his. Naruto clarified, but they were perplexed. Did you mention author? I never considered writing as a professional option. Who'd have guessed? What exactly do you mean, doppelganger? Henshaw inquired. Look, guys, I'm not a clone, an evil twin, or some strange laboratory experiment. Naruto Namikaze from Earth 1 here. I'm from another planet. Naruto informed them, but they did not appear convinced. Are you familiar with the multiverse theory? The concept of infinite possible Earths, first proposed by Isaac Newton, in which every possible outcome of every possible event has a worlds where it occurred. As a result, several copies of the same person exist. Obviously, this Earth's version of me is a civilian, whereas on my planet, I'm a superhero. Do you really expect us to believe you're from another planet? Director Henshaw inquired, not trusting the story. I can prove it. As they gazed at him, Naruto said, all Earths, like their inhabitants, vibrate at different frequencies. Put me next to a Hertz reader and I'll show you. Henshaw and Alex exited the interrogation room to discuss what they had learned and whether Naruto was telling the truth. He was being truthful. His heartbeat remained constant throughout, Supergirl informed them. Which means he's either telling the truth or believes he is, Henshaw explained. You still don't believe him? Alex inquired. It's not that insane. Scientists have been attempting to confirm the multiverse idea for many years. Perhaps they did on his planet. Perhaps, but I have a hard time believing a 23-year-old kid can travel between parallel worlds while the greatest scientific minds on the planet haven't cracked it. Henshaw brought this up. Is there anything crazier than a superpowered alien from another planet or a top-secret government organization that monitors for alien activity? Alex chuckled as Supergirl inquired. Touché. Okay, let us see if he's telling the truth. As Henshaw instructed, Alex led Naruto out of the interrogation room while keeping him shackled. This provided Naruto with a clearer view of the covert base he was in. Wow, that's a great location. What exactly is it? Argus. Not quite. So you claim to be able to demonstrate your extraterrestrial origins. Show me. As Naruto glanced at Supergirl, Henshaw said. Just a bag full of sunshine, isn't he? Naruto inquired, and she laughed. Okay, where's the Hertz reader? Henshaw raised one and passed it to Naruto. He tweaked it to detect the Earth's natural vibrational frequency, which it did at around 67.9 Hz. Naruto passed it to Alex and a few other agents, as well as Supergirl, and it read their vibrational frequency at this level. He then held it up to himself and read 90.5 Hz. See? Your frequencies are all different from mine, and the only way that's conceivable is if I'm not from this planet. Naruto remarked, tossing it to Alex, not realizing Director Henshaw's eyes were glowing red. Alright, maybe your story is starting to make sense now, but there's still more we need to know, Henshaw informed him. Of course, and I'm happy to assist in any way I can. Believe me, it took me a week to figure out what the hell occurred when I initially found myself on a parallel Earth. Naruto stated. Alex approached the handcuffs with a key, but he stopped her. Oh, there's no need. Naruto's hands vibrated, and the shackles slipped right off. Ah, that's much better. He stroked his wrists, reveling in the removal of the handcuffs. Alex inquired, how did you do that? I'm a runner. I'm a metahuman. Are you a metahuman? Henshaw inquired. People who gained superhuman abilities after being exposed to dark matter as a result of the Star Labs particles accelerator explosion on my planet. I was struck by a dark matter lightning bolt and placed in a coma for 9 months. When I awoke, I discovered I have the capacity to run extremely fast. Naruto informed them. How fast are we talking? Alex inquired, and Naruto had an idea. I'll be right back. He flew away in a whirl of wind and lightning, only to return 15 seconds later with a whoosh of air. He was holding an ice cream cone this time, and he gave one to Supergirl, Alex, Director Henshaw, and pretty much everyone else in the Deo. Yes. Supergirl smiled as she held the vanilla ice cream cone. That quick. I haven't hit my maximum yet, and my speed is increasing all the time. I was at Mach 12 the last time I checked. And ever since I found my abilities, I've been assisting individuals on my planet. Naruto stated this as he licked his ice cream, and Kara did the same, both glad for the ice cream and happy to meet another superhero. And I thought aliens were crazy enough, but this definitely takes the cake. Alex made a remark. Wait a minute, aliens? Are aliens real? Naruto inquired. Oh, yes. I'm a foreigner. And where you are right now is a top-secret government organization that specialized in tracking down wayward aliens. Supergirl realized she had said that out loud. And, to be honest, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. No way, aliens are real? Naruto approached Supergirl and gave her a close look, but you look human. You'll find that aliens often look like humans before humans did. With Naruto so near to her face, Supergirl blushed slightly. I'm sorry, but this is insane. Parallel worlds and metahumans are one thing, but aliens are quite another. I don't believe there are aliens on my planet. How many other aliens are there on Earth? Enough for our group to exist. While I'm beginning to believe your narrative is real, we'll need further proof. Henshaw informed him whenever Naruto had an idea. Do you happen to have my pack? He inquired, and Alex handed him the item. Naruto started searching through it while Henshaw and Alex held their rifles until he discovered what he was looking for. He had one high-calorie energy bar and his phone on the table. He tapped a button on his watch, which projected Gideon's face from the phone. Gideon, would you mind helping me explain? I'd be happy to. Gideon responded. To put it mildly, everyone was taken aback. What exactly is that? Henshaw inquired. This is Gideon. Hello, Gideon, Naruto stated. Greetings, Gideon is my name. Naruto Namikaze constructed an interacting artificial consciousness. You created her? Supergirl inquired. In a way. It's a long and convoluted tale. Naruto responded. Hello, Kara Danvers. It's great to see you again. Gideon smiled as she looked at Supergirl, who was perplexed. How do you know my name? Kara inquired. Gideon, do you know Supergirl? Naruto inquired. Yes, I have extensive knowledge and a backlog of all the people you've met in your long career. Ms. Danvers is a personal friend and ally of yours. Gideon mentioned this while pulling up a picture of Naruto and Kara out of costume. They were wearing regular clothing and standing for a picture in front of what appeared to be the Catco building, but they were a little older than they are now. Whoa, this is freaky. Kara made a remark. You don't even know the half of it. Naruto informed her. Why didn't you just tell me about Kara and this planet, Gideon? It would have made life much easier. You were never asked. Gideon remarked, causing Naruto to laugh. Remind me to adjust your neuromorphic matrix when I'm done here, Naruto stated. Anyway, just bring up the multiverse map. Of course. Gideon responded by imagining space and hundreds of interconnected Earths. This is a rough representation of the multiverse. Since the Big Bang and the emergence of reality and matter, billions of Earths with unlimited possibilities for outcomes have most likely been formed. There are 52 known and classed Earths, but billions more are not. I'm a superhero on my home planet, Earth 1, where I was born. But I'm a novelist on your planet, Earth 38. And the Supergirl on my planet might not be Supergirl at all, but rather someone else entirely. There are an endless number of alternatives out there. Naruto disclosed everything to them. Wow, this is amazing, Kara stated as she examined the map. How do you know all of this? Henshaw inquired. Gideon helped with some of it, but I'm also a physicist and engineer by training, so a lot of it came naturally. Naruto responded. Even so, this is far beyond anything the scientists on our planet have to deal with. Alex brought this up. Yes, believe me, I couldn't believe it, but it's real. There are a million different options available. One planet in which the Nazis won World War II, another in which Kennedy was never assassinated, another in which the Russians won the Cold War, and yet another in which dinosaurs did not become extinct. They all exist in the same location in space and follow the same fundamental physical principles. However, because they all live on different vibrational planes, they cannot perceive or communicate with one another. Naruto informed them. How did you get from your home planet to this one? Henshaw inquired as to when Alex discovered the key. It's up to you. You ran so rapidly that you were able to vibrate your body to a different vibration frequency, thereby opening a portal to another planet. Breach would have been a better word, but that's all there is to it. I've been boosting my speed recently, and I've just gotten fast enough to try to open a breach. I've been attempting to reconnect with my roots for a while now, but evidently I still need some work, Naruto stated. Can you please return to your Earth? What occurred? Kara inquired. On my home planet, my partner, the Flash, and I were fighting an evil speedster, someone like me who had caused a lot of death and grief in our lives. We were able to halt him, but in the process, a black hole appeared over Central City. I was sent through and landed on Earth 2 after we closed it. I've been stuck there ever since, unable to return. This was my first try. How long have you been gone? Kara inquired. It's been over 3 months. Hopefully, you can see that I'm telling the truth now. We trust you, Naruto, and we'll assist you in returning to your home planet in every way we can. Kara made a vow. Thanks. First and foremost, do you have a bathroom? I need to wash my hands. Naruto replied so, and Alex pointed down the hall, causing him to sprint past them in a whoosh of air. That's going to take some getting used to. She remarked this as she glanced at Director Henshaw, oblivious to the fact that his eyes had turned a pale red. What do you think, sir? He appeared to be genuinely sincere, but only time will tell. For the time being, we should probably retain him at the DEO. Well, I heard his heartbeat the whole time, and he was telling the truth the whole time, and he wishes to return home. We should assist him, Kara stated. It's not normally something we handle, Kara, but he's welcome to rest here for the time being. When Kara looked at the clock on the wall, Alex made a vow. Oh my god, I'm running late. Kara flew as fast as he could out of the DEO. XXXXX line break. Kara changed into her usual clothing and took 3 showers to attempt to get rid of the burning oil scent from the docks, but it lingered. She entered the elevator as the local news was covering Supergirl's exploits at the docks and the mysterious appearance of a white and red blur. Miracle or danger? That's what the people of National City are wondering after Supergirl's recent heroics nearly led to an ecological calamity if not for the arrival of a mystery hero. Mystery hero saves Super Blunder, according to the headline. Kara stepped out of the elevator, much to the relief of everyone around her, and onto Katko's main floor. Win approached her and caught a breath of the burning oil fragrance. Ah, God, is that you? He inquired. I took 3 showers and still smelled like burning oil. But, thankfully, things did not worsen and there was no oil leak, Kara stated. Yeah, because of some enigmatic blur. Did you notice who it was? Win inquired. Did your cousin send one of his super-powered friends to steal your mojo? Win, no one ever says mojo anymore. Kara informed him. And no, he wasn't sent by my cousin. It's a little difficult. So, do you know him? Win inquired as they approached his desk. Sort of. She responded. She was pleased he did what he did, but she was disappointed with the outcome. If it wasn't for him, I would have gone from superhero to eco-terrorist faster than I can fly. Hey, you're only a week into this superhero thing, so you're bound to make mistakes. For example, when you initially came here and Kat asked you to fetch her lunch, you went to Chipotle. Win chuckled at the thought. Yeah, except now I'm making mistakes in front of the whole world. When they spotted Maxwell Lord, a local businessman, entrepreneur, and millionaire, speak to the news about Supergirl's newest hero attempt, Kara responded. Forget Supergirl's lack of experience, I'm referring to the trouble she'll cause in National City. Her and this enigmatic hero. Take a look at Metropolis. Since Superman's arrival, the city has seen a veritable super bad guy war. Their maintenance expenditure has more than doubled. National City does not require the issues of Metropolis. We don't need another Superman who is too afraid to display his genuine self. I'll give this to Superman and Supergirl because they're brave enough to be seen by others but not by this new blur. He's not here to help, whatever he is. Lord said, and Kara was enraged by what he said about her, her cousin, and Naruto. They were heroes because they risked their lives to save others. Don't pay attention to him, Kara. What does it matter what that guy says? You do. Isn't Maxwell Lord a personal hero of yours? Kara inquired. I have 2 Maxwell Lord watches in his biography, as well as his autobiography. When Kara's enhanced hearing picked up the sound of Kat grumbling about drinking too early in the morning, Win said. She's here, Kara stated as she subtly heated Kat's coffee with her heat vision. At least now I know how you do it, Win said, straightening up at his desk. As Kat entered the private elevator, everyone stood at attention. Here's your latte, Ms. Grant, Kara said, handing her a little sip. It's very hot. Just the way you like it, Kara explained. A concern you didn't seem to share before today. Content meeting, 2 minutes, my office. Kat ordered, and Kara swiftly got to work, spreading the word to the important individuals. Everyone important to the company's media was assembled in Kat's office, and Kat stood beside her desk, unhappy. Are we all aware of Supergirl's nearly disastrous flop? She nearly rendered the water around the city inhabitable for the next 10,000 years, one of Kara's co-workers commented, trying to conceal her embarrassment. And the appearance of this mysterious blur, it was the lead story on the Daily Planet homepage, their 5th in as many days, which irritates me because the Daily Planet already has a go-to superhero, and now they're trying to steal mine and poach a new one, Kat said as she pressed a button on her remote, and all the screens in her room came to a halt on a stilled image of a white and red blur of lightning. A new hero in National City. One who is apparently so fast that even our best cameras can't get a clear shot of him or her, and yet this superhero was able to undo Supergirl's tanker debacle and put out the fire in a matter of seconds. Do they have to be competition? James inquired, causing Kat to pause for a moment. Perhaps a sidekick. It might be what we need. When I branded Supergirl, there was an inherent promise that she would be, at the very least, above average, but in the past week she has proven herself to be, oh, what's the opposite of super? #TerribleGirl, Kat said, which pained Kara. You know, Superman made plenty of mistakes when he first started, James replied, making Kara feel a little better. In the sloppiest, most awkward way imaginable, James, Kat countered when she had an idea. James, wouldn't your big blue Boy Scout pal mention a mysterious super friend who moves really fast? Like this guy? Not that I'm aware of, James responded. Shame. Well, he or she is mine now, and like Supergirl, I will announce his or her presence to the world, Kat said, causing Kara to snicker reflexively. Yes, Kara? I'm sorry. I just started thinking about this kitten video I saw online earlier. It's so funny what they make those cats do. I'll send it to all of you. Or not, Kara replied, trying to cover herself but only looking like an idiot. James. Perhaps your blue friend would be useful in arranging a sit-down. Perhaps you could broach the subject the next time you bro hang, Kat said. It doesn't really work that way, Ms. Grant, James responded. Well, let me assure you. Lois Lane, Clark Kent, and all of the hags over at the Daily Planet are working day and night to get this exclusive. We need to get it first. Kat ordered them. I want to sit down with Supergirl. A girl-to-girl talk, but more importantly, I want a clean image of our mystery superhero. I want a picture of the blur. And I want it by the end of the week. Go. No, not you, Kira. Kara remained in Kat's office as everyone else left. Do you really think I don't know what's going on with you? You do. Kara inquired. Well, no, and honestly, I don't care. But whatever it is, it's affecting you at work. Now you need to join a gym. See a shrink. Whatever. But get your head out of the clouds and back behind the desk where it belongs, Kat informed Kara before leaving. She exited Kat's office and approached James. I'm not doing that interview. No, I can't. I can't. Ms. Grant's not stupid. She'd recognize me in, like, 1 second. Kara stated as they walked to James's office. She'll look Supergirl in the face and not even notice her assistant, James said. How can you be so sure? Kara inquired. Because she doesn't see you anymore. I've seen it happen with your cousin for years. Why don't you think people recognize him as Clark Kent? James inquired. Reading glasses and a good slouch? Offered Kara. No, he's able to hide because the world doesn't believe there's a hero among them, James explained. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a reason why my cousin works at the Daily Planet instead of flying around as Superman all the time, which would be so much easier, Kara said. Yeah, well, as long as he can pay his rent, James pointed out. Kara warned him, she's going to keep pressuring you about that interview. Oh, Kat Grant, I can handle it. Besides, my main concern is trying to get a picture of this new hero. I don't suppose you know who he is? Sorry, James, it's not my secret to reveal, Kara said, nodding. And I respect that. Do you think you'll let me know when he makes his next move so I can get a photo? James asked as Kara laughed. That's probably doable, if he stays around long enough, Kara said. Speaking of Naruto, he had settled into his temporary housing at the Deo base after taking a shower and changing his clothes. They had housing quarters there, so Naruto could get some rest. Director Henshaw was speaking with Alex as they discussed alleged alien activity, although there was none at the moment. Keep an eye on all activity in the area. Something tells me we'll see an increase soon, Henshaw remarked. Alex said, Yes, sir. How's our visitor from another planet? Henshaw inquired, looking at Naruto, who was working on something in their tech lab. What exactly is he doing? Let's ask, she said, and they strolled up to Naruto, who was working on the wiring of his watch in a thick watch-like bracelet band. When Alex and Director Henshaw entered, Naruto was adjusting the wiring with precision tools. Thank you for allowing me to stay here for the time being, Director Alex. As long as you don't cause any problems, Henshaw explained. Don't worry, I solve problems, not create them, Naruto chuckled as he completed his maintenance. I have to say, this place is awesome. However, your computer system is a little outdated, and your security could use some work. This is one of the most advanced and secure places on the planet, Henshaw said as Naruto simply stared at him. In this universe, there were people on my Earth who thought the same thing, but no one is secure. You're running the TG-9000X computer system, but those computers have an inherent coding error that makes long-term coding, monitoring, and hacking slower than it should be. Not to mention the connection to satellite grids is not as stable if you run a reverse helix algorithm. Plus, a well-placed Trojan variant virus could cripple your system's operating speed. I was born with a passion for science, engineering, and computers. How did you know all of that? Alex inquired. On my planet, I've been interested in science since I could think, and I graduated with a degree in theoretical physics and mechanical engineering, but I'm also well versed in biomedical, nuclear, electrical, weapons, and pretty much every other kind of engineering. I'm kind of a genius on my planet, Naruto chuckled. I'd be happy to help upgrade your system while I'm here as a thank you for allowing me to stay. I'll think about it, Henshaw said. Do the Star Labs you mentioned monitor metahumans like you? Not exactly. Star Labs doesn't officially monitor metahumans, but it's the only place on the planet where the bad ones can be stopped from wreaking havoc, Naruto informed him. While you have Deo to stop aliens, the Flash and I have Star Labs to stop and capture rogue metas. How long have you been a hero? Alex inquired. Around a year. But it's felt longer because each new meta we halt represents a new science difficulty. But, fortunately, science is one of my strong suits. Friends and teachers have helped me along the road, and Star Labs is my home. I was reared there, and half of it was mine before I left. We've done some pretty extraordinary things there, Naruto recalled with fondness. Like what? Alex was curious, so he placed his phone on the table and pushed a button, displaying a holographic image of the arc reactor. Arc reactor. A self-sustaining, renewable energy reactor far superior to nuclear power. This one runs Star Labs in the rest of Central City. And with a few more changes, we could do a lot more, Naruto continued, impressing everyone. Impressive, Henshaw said. And I've done a lot more with weapons and other similar things. Naruto tapped a button on his smartwatch, and a little dart vial sprang into the air, which he caught. This is what I used to seal up the crack in that ship. Naruto tossed it to Alex, who examined it and discovered it was a small blue dart vial the size of a nickel. Liquid cement or polyurethane foam. Apparently useful for catching metahumans and sealing up ship cracks. Impressive, Henshaw said, taking a look at it. What are you working on now? He asked. It's something I worked on Earth too. Because my previous ones were damaged, I needed to make some adjustments to my new models, as well as make them smaller. Naruto put the watch on his left wrist and the band on his right. Activate voice command. Gideon responded, voice command authenticated. Deploy. The watch and band opened up and extended around his hands like a gauntlet, encasing them in dark red metal armor with a glowing blue circular plate in his palm. Both gauntlets extend to the middle of Naruto's forearm, but the left one has a high-tech touch pad, sensor system, and dart launcher. Alex exclaimed, whoa. Isn't that cool? Gauntlets with repulsors. To shoot high-charge concussive pulse beams, I use my own kinetic energy and the lightning I make while I run. These ones are made of a retractable nanomaterial of promethium metal, Naruto explained, picking up a screwdriver and snapping it in half like a chopstick. And the metal is heat and abrasion resistant, as well as polymimetic, so it can withstand the force of running at extreme speeds. Very impressive, Naruto, Henshaw commented as he reinserted the gauntlets into the watch and wristband. Thanks. While I'm here, I'd be pleased to make a few things for the Deo. I prefer to keep myself active, in exchange for some food money. There's a commissary here if you're hungry, Alex said. Yeah, but one disadvantage of being a speedster is that I need to consume about 10,000 calories per day to keep my metabolism going. And that's when I don't use my abilities, Naruto added. I don't want to deplete your entire food supply in a single day. Right. We'll figure it out, Henshaw told him. XXXXX line break. Kara was at her desk, diligently doing her work while Kat and everyone else were invested in trying to track down Supergirl and the Blur for a picture or, better yet, an interview. Kara was so invested in her work in helping Kat that she didn't notice someone walk up to her desk. Wow, guess print media isn't dead after all. Kara heard and looked up to see Naruto in regular clothes standing in front of her desk, holding a soda from Big Belly Burger and a coffee. What are you doing here, Naruto? Kara inquired. I was passing by and thought I'd check in. Here, spiced pumpkin with extra foam and a sprinkle of cinnamon on top. He handed her the coffee. That is my go-to. How did you find out? How did you find out I worked here? Kara inquired. I'm a mind reader as well, Naruto replied, observing Kara's look that made him grin. Just a joke. Alex informed me. Oh, yeah. I washed up and needed to eat, so I came to the city. I'm glad there's a Big Belly burger here, Naruto said nonchalantly as he sipped his drink. Root beer always tasted like root beer, no matter where you went. How did you get that? Kara walked over to the outgoing mailbox to deposit some mail. Fortunately, our two worlds share the same currency, Naruto said, glancing about to take in the surroundings, which were spectacular. Wow, so this is one of your world's largest media empires. It's quite stunning. Yeah, have you ever seen a place like this on your planet? Kara inquired. Nothing on this scale, I say. I think that office is bigger than my bedroom, he remarked, drawing a laugh from Kara. So, what got you into print media? She said. At first, I believed this was my way of helping people. Ms. Grant's voice reaches a large number of people, even before I became Supergirl. And I've been here for 2 years, Kara added. So, do people really not recognize you because you wear glasses and have your hair up? Naruto mused, and she toyed with them a little. Not yet, Kara answered, and no one in the office gave them a second look. I guess you don't always need a mask to be a hero, he remarked as Win approached with some files. Hello, Kara. Hey, guy the first don't know, Win said. Hey back, guy the first don't know, Naruto joked. My name is Naruto. Huh, odd name, Win observed. Naruto explained to him, it's Japanese. Kara said, and this is my friend, Win. And you think my name is strange? Naruto joked, making Kara laugh. Touché. So, what brings you here? Win inquired, noticing how close he and Kara appeared to be. Oh, just dropping by to say hi to a friend, Naruto explained. Kira. Cat yelled. Oh, boy. Win sat in his chair, doing everything he could to avoid being seen or drawing attention to himself. What's the matter? Naruto inquired as Kat exited her office. Kira, I need you to find our head of distribution for me, and I'm canceling my meal with Fox's CEO. I prefer to spend as little time as possible with their brand. Tell them something came up, Kat suggested, and Kara took careful notes. Wow, Naruto thought, and I thought Captain Singh was tough. Kat looked around and noticed Naruto. You don't work for me. I know this because if I saw your bright golden hair and spiky porcupine locks prancing across my floor, I'd recognize you. Who are you? She inquired as he stroked his hair. Does it really have that much spiky? Naruto asked Win, who shrugged and said no. Kara hastily introduced him to Kat so she wouldn't kick him out. This is Naruto, my pal. He's here on business. Nice to meet you, Ms. Grant. Naruto extended his hand, but she didn't seem interested, so he lowered it, realizing now that wasn't such a good idea. A quick learner, and the whiskers on your face, were those a poor attempt at a tryout for Cats the musical, or were you mauled as a child by an animal? Kat inquired, giving Naruto the impression that Ra's al Ghul was questioning him. There are birthmarks, Naruto responded, hiding his face behind his coke. Right, Kira, I need to speak with you in my office, Kat said. When she stepped in, Kara apologized to Naruto before following her. Wow. He felt like he'd just been thrown through the ringer, and he only spoke to her for a minute. How exactly do you work for her? The money's good, and I don't have to talk to her, Win replied. Lucky you, Naruto murmured as he caressed his hair and stared at his reflection in a TV. Is my hair really that spiky? Win returned his gaze to Naruto and his hair. No number, you're fine, Win responded, not convincingly, and it began to worry Naruto. Kara entered Ms. Grant's office as Kat observed the blonde man on her floor. Kara inquired, Yes, Ms. Grant? I need those layouts from the design studio for tomorrow's issue. Contact James and have him expedite them immediately, and tell him that I'm still waiting on my blur photo, Kat explained, as Kara took notes. Kara said, Yes, Ms. Grant. And call my lawyer to set up a meeting. I want the blurred trademarked as soon as possible before someone else does, Kat remarked, avoiding another glance at the spiky-haired man standing beside Win's desk, inspecting the computer setup. So, who's your friend? Naruto. He's a college friend who came to visit, Kara explained. Your friend is named after a Japanese fish cake used to decorate noodles? That's horribly tragic or tragically horrible, I'm not sure yet, Kat added, leading Kara to giggle slightly. But now I know what's been going on with you. Kara stared at her and knew what Ms. Grant was hinting at. Oh, no, Ms. Grant. It's not what you think. Naruto and I are just friends, Kara assured her, her face flushed. Is that flush on your face supposed to convince me or yourself? Kira, I make it a point to stay out of my employees' affairs and it's something I take great pride in, but in this case, I'll make a small exception. Whether you find yourself attracted to your friend over there with the unnaturally spiky hair or to a certain photojournalist is up to you, but the longer you don't act on it, the longer it will affect you at work. That'll be all. Kara nodded and returned to her desk, where she noticed Naruto conversing with Win. Hey, you alright? You look a little flushed, Naruto said as Kara cleared her throat and repositioned herself. Yeah, I'm fine. Kat just made some colorful comments about your hair, Kara said, prompting him to touch it. Is it really that spiky? Naruto wondered as he examined his reflection in the TV. Perhaps, she murmured as Naruto sighed. It's not my fault. I tried having it cut short once in middle school and I looked like a blonde-colored bowl cut, Naruto explained. Kara then received a text message from her sister informing her of an alien attack at the Plastino chemical factory. Alien attack on a chemical plant, Kara explained. Race you there? Naruto suggested, making Kara smile. Definitely. They exited the building and entered an alley with no cameras. While Naruto pulled out his ring and his suit sprang out, Kara opened her dress shirt to expose her suit underneath. He swiftly shifted, and they flew through the city, Naruto on the ground and Kara flying above. Kara followed Naruto as they flew through the city to the chemical plant. Naruto smirked as Kara smiled, clearly having a good time. All right, Supergirl, show me what you've got, Naruto exclaimed, accelerating to Mach 6 and leaving her in the dust. Oh, you're on. Kara then turned it up a notch, as she and Naruto had been neck and neck the entire time, arriving at the chemical factory just before the Deo. Naruto came to a halt outside the factory, just as Kara landed next to him. Oh, nice try, Girl of Steel, but I'm going to take that round. As they went in, Kara exclaimed, Are you kidding me, I had that one. Really, because I recall hearing the flutter of your cape behind me during our race, Naruto remarked. Yeah, well, I recall seeing your lightning flicker behind me a few times during the race, Kara responded. Keep telling yourself that, Girl of Steel, Naruto quipped, but we both know I won that race. We'll see about that, Crimson Speedster, Kara replied as she awoke to find a swarm of Deo agents inspecting the murder scene and the deceased. Naruto and Kara approached and noticed a big orange spike in the breast of a security guard. Whoa, that's a nasty way to go, Naruto said as he crouched to get a better look. Kara inquired, Aren't they all? Some more than others, Naruto said, noticing the angle of depth, impact wound, blood spatter, and penetration length. Kara remarked, You sound like you've done this before. Yeah, before the whole Earth jumping thing, I worked part-time as a CSI with the Central City Police Department. Granted, it was a short internship, but I worked with one of the best and I learned a few things, Naruto said. CSI, scientists, and a superhero. How did you do it? It wasn't that difficult once I found my rhythm, and it's a lot easier when you can do things super fast like we can, Naruto explained. When director Henshaw and Alex entered, they noticed Kara and Naruto in their costumes. What exactly are they doing here? He inquired. I called her. We hunt aliens, and she is one. It was a resource we didn't have before, but I'm not sure what he's doing here, Alex responded. When Naruto and Kara saw Alex and director Henshaw walk over, they stood up. I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd pitch in. I have some CSI experience and know my way around a crime scene. What else can we do to help? Kara inquired. Hank warned her, Try not to cause any more oil spills. Look around, but don't touch anything, Alex said as she and director Henshaw walked away. He's really just a pile of sunshine, isn't he? Naruto said, drawing a laugh from Kara. Come on, let's go see what else we can find. When Kara remembered seeing something like that back on Krypton, Naruto used his gauntlet to scan the spike that killed the guard. Alex and Henshaw stepped to the side to discuss what had occurred in the facility. Alex, this entire factory specializes in chemical manufacturing, such as sodium hypochlorite and ammonium nitrate. Alex inquired, ingredients for a chemical bomb? Yeah, we need to find this alien quickly. Naruto surveyed the rest of the facility and discovered some odd prints and impressions on the ceiling and walls, indicating that this thing was quick and agile. They returned to the Deo after finishing at the chemical facility to determine what kind of extraterrestrial they were dealing with. Whatever kind of alien you're dealing with is an interesting one. The prints I picked up showed it was able to move around with excellent skill and agility all along the plant, including the ceiling. Not to mention those stinger things you pulled out were thrown with pinpoint accuracy from a distance. He hit the heart so death was instantaneous and it was with enough force to break bone, Naruto said. Where did you learn all of that? Henshaw inquired. Back on Earth, I worked with the Central City CSI department and one of the best doctors at Star Labs, Naruto revealed. Huh, you're a jack of all trades? Alex inquired. Sort of. You're looking for a Hellgrammite. That stinger you pulled out, I've seen it before on Krypton. My mother sent one of their kind to Fort Ross, Kara stated as Alex brought up the Deo papers they obtained from Fort Ross. There was a Hellgrammite prisoner, according to the data we recovered from the wreckage of Fort Ross, Alex explained. What do we know about his species? Henshaw inquired, so Alex displayed an image of a frightening bug-like extraterrestrial. Not very much. It's basically a large insect, but he can disguise himself into any shape he wants, including humanoid, Kara revealed. Naruto mumbled, yeesh, and I thought regular bugs were bad. A giant insect attempting to steal bomb-grade chemical compounds. This job never ceases to amaze, Henshaw observed. You find him, and I'll take him out, just like we did with Vartox, Kara planned, confident in her ability to handle the Hellgrammite. Sure thing, Ms. Danvers, Henshaw said, if you can show us you can handle yourself without getting killed. When Naruto was training Henshaw and Barry, he noticed how like Henshaw sounded to Oliver. He didn't phrase it in the same way, but the underlying message was the same. You had a lot to learn before going out in the field. I know a place where we can do that, Alex said. Perhaps I could help, hero to hero, Naruto replied as they gazed at him. I've been doing this for a lot longer and have dealt with some really strange metahumans. Follow me, Alex said as he led them through the base to one of the facility's small enclosed chambers. What exactly is this place? Kara inquired. A specialized training area. When I first joined the Deo, I spent 12 hours a day for 5 months straight in this room. We need to know that you're ready to fight any threat out there, Alex explained. Alex, I can bend steel with my bare hands, and I kicked Vartox's buttocks last week. I'm ready, Kara said. You sure about that? Naruto said as he went onto the training ground. Yeah, I am, Kara said as Alex smacked her across the face and knocked her to the training floor as green lights flashed across the room. Ow, Naruto said as he helped Kara to her feet again. How did you do that? Kara inquired as Alex took his place on the training mat. Kryptonite emitters. They're only at 18%, which isn't enough to permanently harm you but is enough to sting, Alex warned. I only found out about kryptonite last week, and only the Deo knows it can harm me, Kara explained. This is exactly the point, Kara. You have powers, but so do the Fort Ross aliens you'll face. Not only do they have the element of surprise, but they've also had time to master their abilities. We may not always have time, so we need to be prepared to face anyone. Alex told her. Kara charged and threw a punch, but Alex grabbed her arm and threw her over his shoulder. She collapsed like a sack of potatoes and moaned in agony. That hurt. Believe me, I know from experience. Never wind up for a punch. It leaves you vulnerable to a counterattack. Naruto instructed as she glanced at him. Your attacks must be precise and deliberate. If you launch an attack with only 50% effort, it could cost you everything. Kara stood up and assaulted Alex, but she ducked and dodged each attack while Naruto stood there watching. Kara's blows were sloppy and uncoordinated, similar to his when he first began practicing with Oliver. Alex then seized her punch, twisted her wrist, and threw her to the ground. You're hesitating. Kara replied, Of course, you're my sister. Well, don't hesitate. Come at me with what you've got. Alex replied as Kara threw another blow, causing her to fall to the ground. Do you mind if I tag along? Naruto said as Alex nodded and helped Kara to her feet. Now, I know from personal experience that this may appear to be a complete waste of time, but believe me, this is a valuable skill to hone. You've done this? Kara inquired, rubbing her arm. Yeah, I've had mentors and teachers who've explained to me the dangers that people like us face out there, and one crucial lesson they've always taught me is patience and keen observation. You never go into a situation blind or without doing recon first, Naruto said. With our speed, Kara, we have the extra time to make sure nothing out of the ordinary is going on. Never go into a situation blind, like at the docks. What exactly do you mean? Kara inquired. At the docks, when you pulled the freighter away, you used too much strength and it cracked. Now, while moving the freighter was a smart idea, there were other ways to take care of the fire. Every time you go to a situation, you need to take a second to analyze the environment before you act. If you make a mistake, people can die," Naruto said, motioning her to approach him. Kara hesitated for a moment before attacking Naruto, who ducked and dodged all of her strikes. Kara's stance and fighting style revealed that she was still overly reliant on her strength. Living this kind of life is dangerous, Kara. Especially with the aliens you'll be facing, and sometimes powers alone aren't enough. You need to know how to use them. There's a difference between having powers and having precision. It's not enough to be strong or fast, you need to be smart. Discipline is key here. Naruto continued to the duck and doge. Kara was becoming increasingly frustrated as her swinging became more aggressive and irregular. He ducked beneath a strike and performed a leg sweep, landing on her back. She grumbled in frustration, as it appeared Naruto was only doing this to humiliate her. When you fight a superior opponent, you use their strength against them. Exploit it, and it can turn the tide in a fight, Naruto said as he extended his hand for her to grab. She did and attempted to toss him to the ground, but Naruto noticed her coming and flipped her over his hip, sending her to the ground with a loud thud. "Enough, you made your point," Kara exclaimed angrily as she stood up and wiped her hands clear of dirt. As Kara approached the door, Alex turned off the kryptonite transmitters. "Kara, Naruto is correct. This is important," Alex explained, but she simply walked by her. "Perhaps I'm not Deo or speedster material," Kara admitted. "I think I know why my cousin prefers to work alone." "Kara, it's training, it's important," Naruto exclaimed as Henshaw entered. Henshaw met Kara as she came out the door. "Ms. Danvers." "I hate that you forced me to do that," Alex told Hank. "You should be thanking me because you might have just saved your sister's life," Henshaw said. "Maybe we could have approached it differently. Everyone trains differently. The training that worked for me didn't work for my friend. Quite frankly, I'm not sure if those lessons really sunk in. When you have powers, it's hard to let someone tell you you're doing it wrong," Naruto observed, knowing from personal experience. "Nonetheless, quite some impressive footwork and skills," Henshaw said. "Where did you learn all of that?" Alex inquired as Naruto leapt from the training mat. "Oliver Queen. He's like me. Well, he does what I do but in a different way. He's one of the best hand-to-hand fighters I know, and he trained me. Without his training, I'd be dead or in worse shape by now," Naruto replied. "Well, let's put that theory to the test. Show me how superhero training differs from Deo training." Alex stepped onto the mat with a smirk, ready for a battle. Naruto gladly obliged and sat down across from her on the mat. As the two charged at one another, Naruto challenged, "Show me what you got." XXXXX line break. It had been 2 days since the training incident with Kara, and she still hadn't returned. Naruto felt awful about the outcome, but Alex advised him to give Kara some distance. This was a good thing because Supergirl was now running about National City conducting amazing saves and quickly regaining the city's respect. Despite this, Naruto still desired to speak with Kara, and he would do so with a box of crullers from Kara's favorite restaurant. Naruto had remained at the Deo base at that time, working on new projects for Director Henshaw like his new body armor and weaponry, as well as upgrading his entire system. Naruto had just finished a new project prototype when he decided to apologize to Kara. He went to the cruller store Alex had recommended and bought 2 boxes, one for her and one for himself. He was dressed casually and walked up to Kara's flat, which Alex had given him the location for. She was hesitant to give him Kara's address, but Naruto had proven himself trustworthy. He took it as a compliment when she remarked something about his looks making it easier to trust him. Kara was enjoying a fantastic day, having returned from her previous trip into the city and watching the news about Supergirl's recent heroic escapades with James and Win. A dazzling display of heroism by the Girl of Steel has now left a grateful National City wondering, what blur? Take note, Metropolis. We're about to give you a run for your money, Superman. Kara clapped with delight as the newscaster said this. I still can't believe it. It's effective. People are beginning to believe in her. James told her, in you. Well, without you, I couldn't have done it. Thank you very much. You both. Win and James smiled as Kara spoke. They soon heard a knock on the door, so Kara X-rayed it and discovered Naruto standing there with 2 boxes. What did you order more pizza for? You're a monster, Win stated as Kara approached the door. Kara. The cape, Kara. Win and James tried to prevent her from opening the door, but it was too late. When she opened the door, she saw Naruto standing there with 2 boxes and a sorrowful expression on his face. "Hello, Kara? May we talk?" Naruto inquired, holding up 2 parcels. "I brought you a peace offering." "Would I see a cruller if I X-rayed that box?" Kara inquired. "There'd be a dozen crullers. I was able to obtain the last of them," Naruto said as Kara stepped aside to allow him to observe Win and James. "Oh, you've got company. I'm sorry, I'll return later." "No, it's perfectly fine." Kara motioned for Naruto to enter, and he did so slowly. "Wow, such a beautiful location. Being Cat's helper must pay well," Naruto stated. "Sort of," Kara responded when she noticed James and Win's puzzled expressions. "This is Naruto Namikaze, James. This is James Olsen, Naruto. You already know, Win." "Right, hey." Naruto waved at them as he placed the boxes on the kitchen counter. "Hey, Kara, do you think he knows who you are?" Win inquired. "Better yet, how does he know who you are?" James went on to say. "It's a long, and complex story," Kara said, looking at Naruto, who shrugged. But, in simple terms, in a flash of lightning, he rushed up behind them. When Win and James heard the sound of eating behind them, Naruto vanished. When they turned around, Naruto was munching a donut. "I'm Blur from the docks." "Okay, that was unexpected," Win stated. "So, you're a superhero?" Naruto nodded before finishing the donut when James asked. "Yeah, just passing through National City on my way home and helping out at the docks. Could you please give Kara and myself a moment to talk?" Naruto was perplexed. Sure." As he and Win left, James replied, still unsure about the person. Kara then hurriedly changed into her jammies. "Coffee?" she inquired as she walked over to fetch some. "Yeah, that'd be great, thanks," Naruto responded, and Kara poured some more into a different cup. "So, Win is aware that you are Supergirl? What about James?" James was already aware that I was Supergirl. My cousin informed him. And Win is a buddy of mine. Am I allowed to have friends? As they sat at the kitchen counter and she handed him his cup, Kara pondered. "Hey, everyone in this line of work needs some pals. Some at Star Labs assisted me in the Flash in keeping Central City secure. In this line of work, I've also made some new ones." As Kara gazed at Naruto, he said, "I've discovered that as a superhero, your secret identity is never that well kept when it comes to the people you care about the most." "How did you find out where I lived? Where can I obtain crullers?" Kara inquired, selecting one from the box. "Alex informed me. She claimed it was fine after I told her what I intended to do, but threatened to shoot me in the head if something went wrong. And that was scary coming from her." Kara laughed as Naruto explained. "Yeah, she's always been looking out for me since the day my cousin dropped me off at her house." Kara reflected on her childhood and recalled some pleasant moments. "I remember being scared of the popcorn maker for the first time, and she crawled under the table next to me. When you showed me some melted butter and salt, the most terrifying thing evolved into a love affair with popcorn." Naruto laughed as he listened to the story. Growing up with a sister like Alex must have been amazing. "Any siblings?" Kara inquired, noticing him pause for a moment. "Not technically. My parents died around 3 years ago, and I was the only child," Naruto informed her. "Ah, Naruto. I apologize. It's all right. But, I did make new acquaintances who became like family to me. Caitlin Snow, our resident doctor at Star Labs, has almost become like an elder sister to me. Not like Alex, but more like the nagging Ice Queen sister." Naruto cracked a joke, making Kara to laugh. "But she's by far the best." Kara could tell Naruto missed his friends in his home by the way he looked at her. "And I wanted to apologize for what happened at the Deo, just like Caitlin would if she knew what happened. Alex and I could have handled it a little better," Naruto stated. "You certainly could have," Kara went on to say, "and I really apologize. If I have harmed or insulted you in any way, please know that it was not my aim," Naruto informed her truthfully. "To be honest, I'd never really trained anyone before. I just did what my trainer told me to do when I first started." "Who or what was that?" "Oliver Queen, or the Arrow as his alter ego," Naruto stated. "The Arrow?" Kara inquired. "When you see him in action, it makes sense, but he's the one who taught me how to fight. I'd be dead or in worse health if it hadn't been for his instruction and advice. I owe him a great deal," Naruto stated, and Kara remarked that he talked well of him. "So, he's a superhero?" Naruto shook his head no when she asked. "Super implies powers, and Oliver's only power is his sheer determination and body of will. He's only human. And by human, I mean ordinary human beings, not metahumans. Kara responded, wow. He's one of a kind. Oliver is. Well, he was born into affluence. His father was the owner of a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and while I don't like to speak behind someone's back, he was a spoiled, affluent playboy. Naruto stated. To be honest, I'm not sure if I knew the old Oliver that we'd even be friends. So, what exactly happened? Kara pondered as she nibbled into her donut. He was shipwrecked on a hellish island for 5 years and went through hell and back before being rescued. Oliver grew throughout his absence, and when he returned, he made it his duty to keep his city safe at the cost of his own life. He performs the same thing you and I do every night, but he lacks any special capabilities or abilities. Just sheer willpower, skill, and training. He isn't the only one. He sounds a lot like a guy my cousin used to work with. A watchful eye. Clark described him as having a lot of gadgets and a lot of demons. Despite the fact that Clark said he became an ally, Kara said, looking at Naruto. Not that Oliver is like that. I'd like to say you're on your way out, but I'd be lying. Oliver has troubles, yet he always prioritizes his city over himself. And he's taught me a lot about how to accomplish this, which is what I was attempting to tell you. But I believe I channeled a little too much Oliver. Naruto agreed. I was simply keeping an eye out for you, superhero to superhero. From a friend to a friend. I've learned some great and painful lessons while doing this. Naruto rubbed his shoulder as he recalled many painful lessons and reminders from his life as a hero. And I appreciate it. I really am, but I'm prepared for this, Naruto. Kara declared, certain that she was ready to take on the role of Supergirl. I know I still have a lot to learn, James says, but James and Win believe in me. I feel the same way. Naruto comforted her. Having someone believe in you is sometimes the most important thing. It makes a world of difference. Yeah, it does. Kara replied, a smile on her face. Thank you, Naruto, for coming to inform me about this. You weren't required to. No, I did not. I understand that I cannot expect to train someone in the same way that I was trained. And I didn't want to scupper a new friendship, especially with someone who turned out to be a solid buddy in the future. Yeah, that was a little strange, Kara informed him. Believe me, even for a super genius like me, time travel is strange and complicated. I still have trouble believing that, but my world has gotten crazier with time. I've just learned to accept it. He stated this. Something tells me that your world will become even stranger as you deal with aliens. However, you're already on the correct track. National City adores Supergirl. They're starting to believe me now. Was it like this when you first started? She was perplexed. Not at all. We were unknown when the Flash and I first met. We kept our presence hidden because we believed it would be preferable if the city was unaware of metahumans. They didn't find out about us till months later. But when they did, it was pretty much the same. As Kara glanced at him, Naruto took a drink of coffee. Neither the Flash nor I did this for popular adoration or acceptance. We do what we do because we want to help people, just like you. But I've also experienced how quickly people can turn on you when they need someone to point the finger at. Do you have any idea how that works? Kara inquired as Naruto reached for a cruller from the box. Whether you believe it or not, my manager was the one who informed me I was doing too much. That I should take things slowly. That's the universal truth for superheroes. Naruto added something that made Kara laugh. And, as ironic as it may sound coming from me, sometimes slower is better with this kind of thing. Just keep up the good work and don't be concerned about the rest. It will come to you. How can you be so sure? Kara inquired. Because I experienced the same thing. We can't always tackle problems with raw force or, in my case, super speed. It's difficult to realize that some things are beyond our control. But also, in some ways, humbling. And believe me, if you stop trying to push a solution or repair everything at once, it will happen on its own. When did you become so wise? Kara inquired. Naruto responded, just time and experience. I'm sorry you couldn't make it home, Naruto. But I'm delighted you're here, she informed him. Me too. Naruto said as he took another donut from the box. And not just because this place has amazing donuts. Kara chuckled as she reached for another, and everyone cheered their donuts. It does, but wait until I show you sticky buns. You'll enjoy them. Looking forward to it. As he sipped his coffee, Naruto said. So, do you have any stories about your superhero adventures? Kara's question made him smile. I certainly do. Let me begin at the beginning, with my first experience working with the Flash. We were facing a metahuman named Multiplex by my pal Cisco. Naruto remarked this as he began to tell Kara stories of his superhero experiences, and the two new friends bonded over a night of delicious donuts and fascinating stories. After a couple hours, he returned to the Deo so Kara could get some sleep before work. He returned to the Deo base, carrying a box of his leftover donuts. Kara attempted to steal a few, but he was faster than her. When he saw Alex stroll up to him, he grabbed a cruller and nibbled into it. "Hello, Alex? Donut?" Naruto shook her head no as she opened the box. "I'm alright. How is Kara?" Alex inquired. "Kara's fine. We had a great conversation. We've returned as friends." Naruto responded. "Thank you for allowing me to speak with her. I realize it wasn't easy to put your trust in someone new, and I appreciate it." "Well, you appeared sincere about your plans. And even if you were quick, I would have shot you if you had damaged her," Alex stated. "I know. Aside from that, we shared some very fascinating stories. A few words about you," Naruto said as he walked through the base, Alex close behind. "Like what?" Alex inquired. "Oh, nothing at all. You went through some interesting phases. Your stories about your punk rock phase were very entertaining." Alex blushed in embarrassment when Naruto told her. "She's so dead," Alex stated. "Well, she's still not out of it because she has some skeletons in her closet. Are you aware of her Twilight phase? Do you have Twilight on this planet as well? Oh my god." When Director Henshaw entered, Naruto made a remark. "Sir, what's the latest from Hellgrammite?" Alex inquired as she approached the main monitors, and Naruto followed her. "In the last year, we've confirmed 6 similar attacks on chemical plants across the country. He's been making his way to National City with enough chemical components to make a nuclear weapon." When one of the Deo scientists walked in, Henshaw remarked. "Sir, I'm not so sure about that. The tests we performed on his blood revealed that this alien DNA is not carbon-based like human DNA. It is built on a chlorine base," the scientists elaborated. "That would explain the chlorine foundation in the spike he used to kill the security guards," Naruto elaborated. Alex stated, "Each of those facilities stored confiscated DDT, which is a chlorine pesticide." "Well, if he's not building a weapon, what does he need DDT for?" Henshaw inquired as to when Naruto synthesized all of the facts and arrived at a logical conclusion. "It's for his food," Naruto stated, and the scientists agreed with him. He's correct. Given the atmospheric conditions on his home planet, DDT would be the closest approach to food he could obtain on Earth, the scientist elaborated. "DDT was banned on my planet, and the government has been destroying what's left," Naruto stated. "It's the same here, his food supply is dwindling," Alex explained. "Well, if this thing is hungry, let's buy him some dinner," Henshaw and Alex reasoned, before devising a plan to capture it. Kara returned to work the next day, after the reporters and photographers had submitted their tales and photographs to the editors and layout people for Cat's new editions. They were kept busy by Supergirl's recent heroics. Kara was working on her computer at her desk when she noticed an email from Spiker Zero Drunner that she didn't recognize. When she opened the email, she saw some text and an attachment. "It's Naruto, Kara. I made up this email in order to send you a message. Don't ask me where the username originated from, it just came to me. I overheard Cat requesting that James take a picture of me in action. And because he'd never catch a glimpse of me, I felt this would suffice. Tell him that the first ones are free. Cat will have to work for another if he wants one." Kara laughed as she read the words, then opened the email attachment to find a still shot of Naruto racing around the city in costume. The photograph was snapped at the right time, capturing Naruto in his costume, with flashes of crimson and white lightning following around his suit. Kara grinned as she sent James an email with the line, "From a new friend you met. The first one is complimentary." Soon after Kara provided him the email, he forwarded it to Cat, and the first clean image of the blur appeared on the Catco website, as well as every single news station in the city and, indeed, the entire country. Cat was a little happier, but not fully, because the news was having a field day. Naruto dropped by Catco about 2 p.m. with a little box of donuts and hung out with Kara. Cat didn't appear to mind, but she kept looking at Kara, making her flush slightly, while Naruto remained oblivious to the whole thing, more interested on the name Cat gave him. He wasn't crazy about the blur. Cat had just finished speaking with an editor and was checking her phone for messages when James approached her. "Ms. Grant, you wanted to speak with me?" James inquired. "Yes, James," Cat said, "I wanted to see how the hunt for the interview with Supergirl was going." "Oh, she's doing a little better, so I wasn't sure if you still wanted to control the story." "Oh, I'd like to sit down with her before the planet. Perhaps I was too vague earlier, Kat said. No, you were pretty clear, James said as they entered her office, and Kara eavesdropped on their talk with her super hearing. The S is a team logo, not some who wore it best fashion faux pas. What's she saying? Naruto inquired, looking at Kara. Kara informed him, she's saying something about my costume. Maybe Supergirl is his sister, maybe she's his girlfriend, but there's definitely a connection, and since you're famously his pal, I'm curious why you haven't used that relationship to get me what I want. I have a policy against using my friends for business reasons. And I have a policy against losing. Whose policy do you think means more to me? No, I get it. You're an honorable guy. So, I'm asking you to do what's right by me and this company and get me in that room with that girl. You have 24 hours. Or the planet gets their beloved photojournalist back, Kat threatened, threatening to fire him unless she had her way. This placed James in a pickle. As Naruto and Kara watched, James departed her office. I'm guessing she just threatened to fire him if she didn't get her interview, Naruto observed, and Kara agreed. What am I going to do? Kara inquired. I said I wouldn't do that interview because Ms. Grant will recognize me, but I can't let James get fired. Kat said as she walked out of her office with her bag and phone, paying more attention to it than Kara. I'm leaving for a meeting. When I return, I need those rating reports. Yes, Ms. Grant, Kara said, but Kat didn't give her a second glance and simply walked away. Are you sure she'll recognize you? She barely recognizes you now, Naruto joked, eliciting a laugh from her and making her feel a little better. Kara, whatever you decide, I'll support you. Besides, you can fly, so you can do the interview from afar. What exactly do you mean? I don't know. When the Flash and I first started, a friend of ours who hadn't yet discovered our secret was an aspiring journalist. When she came to interview us, we kept our distance, kept running around her every now and then, and changed our voice. Maybe you could do something similar. Put her on a cliff and keep your distance so she can't get close enough to see your entire face, Naruto suggested, and Kara agreed. And if you feel compelled to push her off said cliff in order to scare her, I'd support that as well. Kara chuckled as Naruto sipped his coffee, his smirk hidden. Naruto, superheroes are supposed to be the good guys. That's downright evil, Kara remarked as he maintained a calm and stoic expression. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm just giving some helpful advice, and if Kat Grant gets scared a little, I see no harm in that, Naruto responded with a mischievous smirk. Thank you, Naruto, Kara said, and he returned her grin. I'm more than happy to assist. That's what friends are for. We're a small group, so we superheroes have to stick together, Naruto explained. I suppose Kryptonians think the same way, she observed. On Krypton, I was taught that accepting help from others is an honor, not a shame. It's also a fundamental belief of my family. It's what our S stands for. It doesn't stand for super. Naruto inquired. No, just a happy coincidence, Kara explained, but the S also stands for a Kryptonian phrase, our family motto. El Mayara. It means stronger together. We're stronger together, Naruto stated as Kara grinned. He moved his head towards James's office. Then we should adopt the mantra, stronger together, and you should tell James this. Friends stick together. Naruto chose to return to the Deo after Kara smiled and heeded his counsel. When he arrived at the base, he noticed that director Henshaw and Alex were both working on something. He offered to assist, but they refused because it was official Deo business. He returned to his projects and began manufacturing more high-calorie energy bars in case of an emergency. Alex, Hank, and many Deo agents headed for a mission. Naruto was on his way back from the bathroom when he noticed Director Henshaw and his operatives return from the field, with some of them in critical condition. Director Henshaw, what the hell happened? Naruto inquired as he noticed a large number of agents being transported to the med bay. When Naruto discovered they were one short, Henshaw informed him, our trap for the Hellgrammite didn't work. Where's Alex? He inquired, and Director Henshaw's sneer provided his response. Henshaw responded, the Hellgrammite took her. Kara's not going to be happy, Naruto observed, and he was correct. He called Kara and told her what had transpired, and she arrived at the Deo headquarters disguised as Supergirl. As Kara approached Henshaw, Naruto had rapidly changed into his impulse suit. If I had been there, if you had trusted me instead of putting me through your tests, I could have stopped this, Kara said. Or perhaps you'd be captured and killed as well, Henshaw pointed out. I know she's just an agent to you, but she's my family to me. Does that mean anything to you? Do you have a family? Kara inquired as Henshaw wore a solemn expression. I did, Henshaw said, his voice breaking with grief. Kara, easy, Naruto said as she backed up a little. Don't worry, we'll find Alex and bring her home. He's correct. We have every satellite and tactical drone in the sky looking for her, Henshaw added. And now you've got me as well, Kara added. And me, Naruto replied, looking at Kara, you take the sky, I take the ground. Naruto pulled up his mask and goggles as he and Kara's super sped out of the base and through the desert in a whoosh of air and blur of lightning. Naruto's super sped through the city, going building to try and find her as Kara flew above and used her super hearing to listen for Alex. Alex. I've got her, Mr. Henshaw. A warehouse near the intersection of 78th and Washington. I'm going to reclaim her, Supergirl exclaimed as she accelerated and soared out to Alex's location. Wait, Supergirl. Henshaw yelled. I've got her. Hey, are you okay? Impulse cried as he super rushed to her location as he heard a big boom in the distance and saw Supergirl crawl out of an impact crater, so he super sped over and helped her up. Yeah, I'm fine, she said, returning their gaze to a lady who resembled Kara but was older and had a white streak in her hair, dressed in a black bodysuit, some kind of tactical military outfit. Little one, it's been a long time. Take a look at how far you've come. She's so lovely, the woman said as Kara walked forward gently. You died. When Krypton exploded, said Supergirl. Everyone died. You died, Aunt Astra. When Impulse spotted Alex sprawled on the ground, he commented, oh, this is a bad time for a family reunion. Except I wasn't on Krypton when it died. I was a prisoner aboard Fort Ross at the time. Did your mother not tell you how she expelled me? She exiled her own blood, imprisoned me for telling the truth while she just told lies. Astra's voice was filled with pent-up rage. How come she sent you to Fort Ross? Supergirl inquired. For being a hero, for attempting to save our world, Astra remarked as she approached Kara. I remember sitting on your lap and listening to you tell me all the names of the stars on so many nights. Then allow me to re-educate you, dear niece. Your alliance is ill-advised. You must not oppose me. I let one planet die. I will not do so again, Astra said as Impulse came closer to Alex and noticed Astra's eyes were blazing. I would advise you not to do anything stupid, human, Astra said. Supergirl told her to leave him alone. You know, if you really wanted to help protect the planet like Supergirl, I'm not getting a very friendly vibe from you. I'm getting a more, I want to take over the world and kill all the humans vibe, Impulse observed, growling in rage and firing another heat vision blast at him, which he blocked with his hands, sending him flying. No, Supergirl snatched Astra and threw her against the wall. It appears you made the wrong decision in siding with humans rather than your own family. You can now die alongside them. As the two Kryptonians engaged in an epic battle, Astra grabbed Supergirl and threw her through the wall. Impulse sat up in his impact crater and stared down at his hands at the thin crimson and white barrier surrounding them, his Speed Force armor protecting him from any heat vision damage. I'm getting the hang of that ability, he thought to himself as the Speed Force armor vanished and he hurried over to Alex. I thought you died? I'm not that easy to kill. He picked her up and assisted her out of the warehouse, putting one of her arms over his shoulder and helping her walk as he called Director Henshaw. She's hurt, but she's living. We're on our way, Roger. What happened to Supergirl? Henshaw inquired as a section of the roof was blown open. Guess that's what happens when two Kryptonians fight. She's tangled with her aunt, he said as he sat her against the wall and examined her leg wound. I'm activating a beacon. Alex will be there. Gideon triggered a distress beacon that the Deo could monitor by pressing a few keys on his wrist computer. We have your beacon. 2 minutes to go, Henshaw said as another section of the roof exploded due to their conflict. You might want to pick up the pace. He grabbed up Alex and super accelerated her away into another place where she would be safe, looking over her wound and inspecting the damage when Alex noticed the Hellgrammite. Be careful, she yelled as the Hellgrammite fired his spikes, but Impulse turned and caught them with his gauntlets. Nice try, Impulse remarked, firing a repulsor blast at the Hellgrammite, which leapt onto the ceiling and scuttled away like a bug. Go get him and assist Kara. He was hesitant to leave her alone, but the Deo would be there soon. He deactivated his right repulsor gauntlet as it transformed back into the little band and placed it on Alex's wrist. Activate gauntlet, he murmured as the gauntlet wrapped Alex's right hand and forearm, in case it comes back. He paced around the warehouse, ready for action, waiting for the Hellgrammite to appear. Come on out, you ugly excuse for a bug, he said. And let me tell you something, I've fought plenty of ugly things in my superhero career, but I've got to say that you are one of the strangest. He shouted to try to bait it into coming out. The Hellgrammite then jumped down from the roof in an attempt to kill Naruto easily, but Naruto looked up and saw him coming down, and his powers gave him enough time to act. He rolled out of the way as the Hellgrammite landed on the ground. Naruto fired a repulsor beam, which the Hellgrammite flipped to the side to avoid and fired more spikes. The spikes were fast, but his speed had increased tremendously since the beginning, so it was a piece of cake. The Hellgrammite jumped forward and extended one of its spikes from its wrists like a blade and swiped at him, but Naruto grabbed his hand, stopping the spike inches from his face. You fought valiantly. It's not a personal attack. Naruto vibrated his body, so the Hellgrammite phased right through him and now he was behind it, giving him the advantage. Naruto kicked out his leg with the distinct sound of bone breaking, then vibrated his hand to channel lightning and zapped him in the back of the neck before knocking him out with a bone-breaking spin kick to the back of the head. I guess my will to survive was stronger, Naruto said as he smashed 4 instant cement pellets on the Hellgrammite's body, encasing it in enough concrete to keep it from fleeing. Kara and her aunt clashed punches while hovering in the air, both attempting to gain an advantage over the other, but Astra had years of combat training and expertise over the inexperienced Kara. Kara had a few good hits, but Astra had the upper hand. She grabbed Kara's neck and smashed her into the ground, leaving a crater. You chose this outcome rather than allying with your family. You can now die alone. When Astra was blasted by an energy beam that threw her away, she yelled and scooped up Kara, ready to toss her into a wall. Kara turned around to see Naruto blasting her with an energy ray from his gauntlet. She's not in this alone. Naruto yelled as Astra fired her heat vision, but he dodged and she missed. She unleashed another blast but missed, so she flew forward, intent on smashing through the human, but he avoided her. As Astra and Kara witnessed Naruto's incredible speed, he began sprinting in a circle around her. As a bolt of lightning struck Astra and knocked her out of the building, Naruto slowed down and threw out his arm. How did you manage to do that? Kara inquired as she approached him. Not all of us have heat vision. He stated this before grabbing Kara and ducking to avoid Astra's flying tackle. Go and get her. Kara nodded and raced at her aunt, pushing her into a metal beam and screaming blow after punch, but Astra grabbed Kara's head and banged it into the beam, temporarily confusing her, before punching her across the face. Kara suddenly remembered some of Naruto's training session instructions about utilizing an opponent's strength against them. Kara grabbed Astra's arm and threw her out of the building as she threw another blow. Awesome. Excellent work. Naruto charged up to her. Thanks. Is Alex all right? When a gust of frigid wind pushed them to the ground and covered their legs and arms in ice, Kara inquired and Naruto nodded. I saw in the news that you haven't quite mastered that one yet. Director Henshaw arrived and aimed his rifle at Astra's back, she remarked. Stop. Stay right where you are. Henshaw gave the command, causing Astra to chuckle. Then, in an instant, she seized his neck and hauled him up, preparing to snap his neck or strangle the life out of him. You don't have anything that can hurt me, she mocked. You are so wrong. Henshaw drew a blazing green knife from his sheath and stabbed it clean through her arm. Astra screamed in agony as she lowered Henshaw and cradled her arm. She gave Kara a brief glance before taking off. Are there any other relatives I should be aware of? Kara sprang free from the ice as Naruto vibrated quickly and melted it away. The Deo team guarded the area and returned to base once everything was in order. Alex was rushed to the emergency room, where her leg was bandaged. Naruto saw as she and Kara had a heart-to-heart conversation, and Kara was shown the AI program of her mother, the Deo salvaged from her pod. As a remembrance of her home. To be continued.
That's it for this podcast. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy the story, like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you all for helping support and have a great day.